just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Lani.
Yes.
Kevin. Beloved friends and family. I am so pleased to be a part of today's celebration of love between you two, to witness you share your vows, make your commitments to each other, and to usher you into your new life as husband and wife. So let's begin with Jillian reading from the prophet Kahil Gibran on marriage.
I'm a little out of breath from dancing with Sister. So, on marriage. You were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You shall be together when the white wings of death scatter your days. Aye, you shall be together even in the silent memory of God. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Let one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together, and be joyous, but let each one of you not be alone. Each of the strings of a lute are not alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not one into each other's keeping, for the only hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near together, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and cypress grow not in each other's shadow.
Lani, Kevin, I love the imagery of that poem. I love that it calls to the great outdoors, to the wind and the sea and the oak tree and the cypress, because that resonates with me when I think of you two and your beginnings. I think we all know the story. Once upon a time, in a quaint little cabin on a pristine little lake known as Bucks, there was a very cute little boy named Kevin. And a very cute little girl, probably a little cuter, named Lani. And together they had an adventurous spirit and loved the great outdoors. But we come today together after a few years as those little seedlings, the little oak tree and the cypress tree, have grown stronger, and multiple branches of life have been part of you. So those branches of school and careers and family and marriages and children and tragedy and love and all those things that make you beautiful, strong trees, you come together today. But I watch you two together, and I see that joy that you share when you talk about Bucks Lake. So Kevin, you talk about Bucks as your glimpse at eternity. I want to get this right. We ran and played, and swam and talked and laughed. We didn't have the future or past hanging over our heads. No expectations, no obligations, just now. And Lani, you share with me your memories of Bucks as if being 8 years old up there climbing on the rocks was just yesterday. And your joys of life in the simple things that make Bucks. Simple game of password, the wind, listening to the wind, staring into the sea, the smells that you had, climbing over rocks and jumping off of them, a first kiss, tears as Kevin and his family went home after the summers. So I look at you today, though, and I think about that joy of Bucks Lake that you have with each other. It resonates with me. The peacefulness that you are with each other, the serenity that you have with each other, the adventurous spirit that you have with each other, and most importantly, that you're present, your love here, now, today. And Lani, you describe that love as chemistry. And I know Lani for a few years now, and I love that she uses chemistry because Lani loves and talks about life with her senses. She uses her senses. She talks about what she sees and what she hears and what she feels and what she smells and tastes. So it's so fitting that you would use chemistry. And chemists talk about the elements and the compounds and the structures. And what I love is that chemists talk about a change in matter. So when I look at this element that is Lani, and I know some of that compound, that structure, the parts of you that started as a little girl on Bucks Lake, but then all of the change in matter over the years, the things you've experienced that make you who you are. And likewise, as I get to know Kevin and I start to understand your compound and your structure and all that took you from that 9-year-old boy and that first kiss to where you are today. But here's what's fun about chemistry. It's not the single element, is it? That's why most of us left, having to understand, well, God, that's made of hydrogen, water, whatever. It's the attraction of elements. It's what happens when elements come together. And that attraction, that chemistry that we know as love. It's way more exciting than what happened to us in 4th grade when we saw the erupting volcano as they came. This love, this chemistry that you talk about. And Kevin, you describe that same love, you and Lani, here today as harmony. Of course he does. He's a musician, so it's perfect. And that song of love. And harmony, just like chemistry for Lani, harmony fits because it's not a simple melody, simple song. It's the blending, it's the accord, it's the complement of music that comes together. Harmony that makes that blending that is pleasing to the ear. That's harmony. That blending that is pleasing to the heart. That is love. So I ask you two to look at each other. And I want you to remember this moment right now, this chemistry, this harmony, this love, as we begin your commitment to each other. Lani, marriage is a voluntary and full commitment. It's made in the deepest sense of commitment to one another, thinking about the rest of your life. So do you come here freely and without reservation to give yourself to Kevin in marriage? Do you take Kevin to be your lawfully wedded spouse? If so, say I do.
I do.
And Kevin, do you come here freely and without reservation to give yourself to Lani in marriage? Do you take Lani to be your wedded spouse? If you do, say I do.
I do.